250 days ago, I started a totally faceless TikTok automation page, and it has already gained over 260 million views and over 700,000 followers. My goal of this page was simple, and that was to show that anyone can have success with TikTok and make their first $500 online through TikTok. But what ended up happening with this page far exceeded my expectations. So far, I've managed to make over $11,000 from TikTok's Creator Awards program. However, this is just one of a few different ways that I managed to monetize this TikTok page, and this is something that no one else talking about TikTok automation mentions. And later on in the video, I will be breaking down all of the different monetization methods that I have used to make money with this page. But to show you the exact systems and how I was able to achieve all of this, first we need to go back to the start. Back in September 2023, I saw everybody talking about the
TikTok creativity program.
TikTok's creativity program.
While by this time, I already had a fair amount of experience with social media, growing pages on Instagram and TikTok, I hadn't yet ventured into making pages for the TikTok creativity program. So I decided to start a totally new page and document it here on this YouTube channel to prove that anybody can do this. However, it was not a smooth journey, and there was a bunch of challenges along the way, including me getting kicked from the creativity program multiple times. During this time, I've realized that it is not as easy to make money with the creativity program as some of these influencers make it out to be. You need to follow a blueprint to first of all actually see results in terms of views, and second of all see results in terms of money. So that is exactly what I'm going to show you throughout the rest of this video. The first step in this blueprint is to find a winning niche. Being in a winning niche can make growing a page feel like you're pushing a boulder down a hill. All you need to do is put in a little bit of work and it's going to start to compound and grow rapidly. However, being in a losing niche can make it feel like you're pushing a boulder up a hill, and while some people might be able to get to the top of that hill, a lot of people are probably going to give up along the way. So how do we actually go about finding a winning niche? Well, first of all, we need to just scroll TikTok, but we're not just going to scroll TikTok like we're just scrolling TikTok having fun. We're going to be doing this tactically. The only videos we're going to be spending time on are videos that are faceless, over a minute long, and that have an interesting concept. Once you find a video that fits this criteria, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and click on this page, and you're going to take a look at how long they've been uploading, what kind of views they're getting on average, and what their most viral videos are getting in terms of views. And if it complies with this checklist of videos being over a minute long, videos being original, and they have multiple videos over 1 million views, then we're going to go ahead and take the link of this page, save it in a document so you can refer back to it later. I'll then continue this process until you have 5 different pages from 5 different niches that you consider to be winning niches. And once you've done this, you're just going to go ahead and take a look at the different pages from your document, and you're going to write down some of the pros and some of the cons from these pages, and then you're just going to decide on which page you believe you can be the most successful with, and you're going to go ahead and pick that page or that niche to go ahead and base your page off of. And then that takes us on to step 2 of the blueprint, which is going to be setting up our account. When it comes to setting up our account, the first thing that we need is a name to do with our niche. Now, when picking a name, this doesn't need to be anything groundbreaking, and this is something that people spend way too much time on, so don't really worry about it too much. My name for this page is literally TheMotivationMotive. I think it's a rubbish name, but if you want to, go ahead and use ChatGPT. This can help you come up with some original ideas for your name. Then we need to go ahead and write a short bio. Once again, this doesn't really matter too much. Just say something about your page and maybe try and encourage people to give you a follow. But now for the important part when it comes to setting up our page, and that is to warm up the page and curate our feed. Now, for the first 3 to 7 days of our account, ideally, we're just going to spend our time warming up the account and curating our feed. When I say warming up our account, I basically just mean using the account like normal. So don't go ahead and post anything. And this is just because sometimes if people go on an account and post straight away, TikTok might think it's a bot account or think it's something fishy, and therefore your videos will likely not get any views. So that is why we spend the first few days just warming up the account. Now, while we are warming up the account, we may as well do something productive instead of just watching TikToks. So we're going to do something called curating our feed. This is simply where we only engage with content to do with our niche to trick the TikTok algorithm into thinking that this is the only content that we like. This is going to help us out massively later when it comes to creating those viral videos. In short, to curate your feed, you're just going to follow a page from your niche or a few pages from your niche, and then once you've followed a few, you can kind of snowball it from there. So you're just going to go on their page, and you're going to spend loads of time engaging with their videos. Spend time on those videos, maybe even watch them twice, like them, save them, comment on them, share them, do anything that's going to tell TikTok that you like this kind of video. And then eventually, once you've done this enough, you're going to find that your For You feed on TikTok is going to start pushing you a lot of similar content, but from different pages. And when you find this content on your For You feed, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to save these videos, you're going to like them to engage with them, to show TikTok that you want to see more of those kind of videos on your For You feed. Once you've done this successfully, your feed is going to be filled with every other video or every few videos being something that is relevant to your niche. Now for step 3, this is where things get a bit more exciting, and that is because we are going ahead and creating the videos. Now when it comes to creating viral videos, there are 3 things that are extremely important, and that is the hook, the journey, and then the ending. The goal of the hook is to keep people watching for the first few seconds of the video, and we can do this in 3 different ways. We can hook people in with audio, we can hook people in with text, and we can hook people in with visuals, and most of the time, it'll be a combination of all of these. Now, when making a hook, you want to make people feel an emotion. It doesn't really matter what emotion you make them feel. It could be happy, it could be angry, it could be sad, but if you make them feel an emotion, then they're going to be much more likely to stay on your video for those few seconds. An example of this could be how a cute animal makes someone happy, or on my page, an example of this is a clip where Israel Adesanya says fuck school. This is something that's controversial and probably going to make some people angry and maybe even make some people happy and agree with him. But either way, we want something that's going to make people feel some kind of way about our video. Next, we need to take the viewer on a journey to keep them watching until the end of the video. Some of the ways in which we can do this is through storytelling or providing a promise. And that is where the hook leads into the journey, because most of the time you're going to want to combine your hook with the journey. For example, on the Motivation Motive, one of the most viral videos that we got is a video that starts off with Matthew McConaughey saying, "Don't half-ass it." This immediately piques curiosity because people want to know why he is saying that. Also, the fact that it is a well-known person in Matthew McConaughey, people are going to be more likely to stay on the video. And finally, people may just want to be motivated by it. They might know it's going to be something that's motivational, and maybe even TikTok has pushed it to them because they know they like that, and therefore they're going to stay there because they want to hear him motivate them. Another example of this from a different niche could be, for example, an animal page, and it's saying the top 5 most dangerous animals in the world. That can work for the hook of the video, and at the same time, it provides a promise to people that they're going to know the top 5 most dangerous animals in the world by the end of the video, keeping them watching and going on the journey with your video. Another thing that I wanted to mention here is that music has a massive effect on your video. It can really change the whole emotion of the video, so make sure you're picking good songs that fit with the emotion that you're trying to get out of your video. Then as for the ending, you just want to keep it short and sweet so people don't click off the video, but you also want to end with a bang and have something that is going to leave people feeling a kind of way at the end of your video to make it more likely that they engage with your video and even follow your page. So for example, if you're a comedy page, try and save a funny joke for the end. And some other things you can think about in terms of the ending is adding some call to actions to try and get more followers and get people to engage with your videos a little bit more, to then therefore get your video pushed out further into the algorithm. Now, when it comes to making your video, this is going to change depending on your niche. However, I hope this gives you a good structure for how to make a viral video. And with that being said, when it comes to editing and actually putting the video together, and you don't know of any editing softwares, then the one I would suggest is CapCut, as it is very beginner friendly and it is free. And if you want some tutorials to learn how you can use CapCut, then there are tons on my YouTube page, once again for totally free. And finally, on to step 4 of the blueprint, and that is to stay consistent. Unfortunately, we can't always go viral off the bat, so it is very important to stay consistent, as all it takes is for one video to go viral. And when I say stay consistent, I don't just mean staying consistent within posting, I mean staying consistent with the videos, the niche, and just trying to make the videos better every time. Every time you post, try and make it that little bit better, and eventually, if you do this for long enough, something is going to work and you're going to get that viral video. Especially with a faceless page on TikTok, if you are not consistent and you leave the page for a while, when you come back, it is going to be very likely that you're going to lose a bunch of followers, as no one remembers your face, they don't have a face to remember, and if you let them forget about you, then when you come back, they might not care for your content anymore, and therefore you are likely to start losing followers. So keep this in mind when you start to think about skipping posts. So now you have the basic blueprint as for how you can achieve this yourself. Let's talk about what this equates to in terms of money, followers, and views. Now, just to clarify, I'm being extremely transparent here and even somewhat putting myself at risk, showing you exactly how much I've made with this page. So if you could help me out by dropping a like on this video, that would be much appreciated. So my initial goal when starting this page was to gain over 50,000 followers and make over $500 from the creativity program. But I managed to far exceed these expectations, basically smashing these goals within the first month of the page. But in total, over the last 250 days, I've generated over 266 million views, I've gained over 730,000 followers, and I've generated over £9,310 through the creativity program, which is roughly around $12,000. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention that was a bit of a struggle with this page was, of course, the originality with my page and the creativity program. Now, while I have still managed to make over £9,000 with the creativity program, this page being in the sort of clips, podcast clips kind of niche, while I have managed to find ways to get around it, it did have some problems with originality. I thought I'd let you guys know that because, of course, if I did get 266 million views and that only equated to £9,000, then that wouldn't be that great, but I wasn't actually in the creativity program for too long while I was making money with the page. And of course, that was just with the creativity program. I'm going to be breaking down some of the other ways that I monetize this page. So one of the other methods I used to monetize this page was through selling a paid series on the page through TikTok. This video series was basically teaching people how to make videos like myself, and this series managed to sell a lot of times. I've got over 500 reviews on there, and in total my product is rated at about 4.5 stars, and considering the amount of sales that I've got, that is very good. And it just goes to show that actually making good products and putting effort into these products really does matter. But in total, this mini series that I was selling for $2 a piece managed to make me around $5,000. Unfortunately, I can't show you the full figure as TikTok only let you go back 60 days. but I can show you that I made around $3,000 within a 30-day period to prove to you guys that I made at least $5,000 throughout the whole 250 days. Now, the next way that I went ahead and monetized this page was through selling my own digital product that was not based on TikTok, and therefore I was selling it for a more premium price. This product was basically a resource pack that once again helped you make videos like myself. And with that $2 product that I was selling on TikTok, while it did make me $5,000, I was just essentially using it as a funnel for my more expensive product. So basically every time someone would go through that series and actually watch it, I would plug my more expensive product and give them a discount code so that they could get the more expensive product for cheaper. Now, this product in the last 250 days has made me an additional £13,817 to date in revenue, which brings my total over the last 250 days with just one TikTok page to around $31,000. Now, I also thought it was worth mentioning that this page is of course totally faceless, which basically means that it is a digital asset and I can go ahead and sell this asset. Now, after looking at some different websites, I believe that I could sell this page if I were to find the right buyer for around $10,000. Just to give you guys an example of what a page like this could sell like. And I could probably even sell it for more than $10,000 to be honest with you, because of the fact that it isn't a creativity program for one, and for two, I have an audience that is over 85% American. So just to give you guys another example of how these pages can go ahead and make us some serious money. Now, would I suggest for some of you guys to go ahead and start a TikTok automation page? And honestly, yes, I believe most people should start a page on TikTok, as this is one of the best and easiest ways to make money online right now. TikTok and social media in general are providing some insane opportunities to make money right now, and I really think that this is a digital gold rush that is happening right before our eyes. Another thing that is so great about this business model is that you can start it up for pretty much totally free, and it is something that I believe practically anyone can learn within a few months. With that being said though, and even though it is called TikTok automation, I don't believe that you can ever really get this to the point where it's going to be fully automated. While I do have editors and have people making videos for me, and if I wanted to, I could even go ahead and hire page managers and have them post videos for me, if I were to just leave them and give them no incentive to go ahead and actually grow the page, then it's going to be quite unlikely that the page continues to be successful. Therefore, you still have to stay on top of your game, understanding the niche, helping your editors and stuff, and giving them incentives to make sure they are actually trying to help you grow the page, and they are then in turn benefiting from the page growing and making more money. Now, if you're interested in learning a bit more about this business model or just making money with social media in general, then I've actually opened up a program all about how to make money with social media. I've been working on this for the past few months to make sure that it is as good as possible off the bat. However, I'm going to be continuing to improve it as I go along. Now, in this program, it isn't just a video course, you also get one-on-one support from myself. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link to it in the description where you can find out a little bit more information about it. Now, if you do want to see me grow this TikTok automation page that I was talking about in this video from scratch and in real time, I'll leave a link to the playlist over here where you can see me growing this page step by step, totally from 0 all the way up to 700,000 followers.